Breckenridge, 20 years of snowboarding. In the winter season of 1984-85, Breckenridge ski area becomes one of only 39 out of 600 ski areas to formally accept snowboarding on its mountain. Breckenridge takes a struggling sport and hosts the first real World Cup snowboarding event in 1986. Breckenridge instructor Kerry Hannon wins the slalom, is fourth in giant slalom, third in halfpipe, and becomes the overall world champion. The event is filmed by Greg Stump and is part of his epic film, The Maltese Flamingo.
The undefeated world champion in the subjectively judged halfpipe is 16-year-old Sean Palmer. Palmer is the best rider in the universe, so we were pretty excited when he offered to wear our helmet camera into the halfpipe. The judging in the halfpipe was a little hard to figure out, but I think that's what I liked about it. If the crowd started screaming, the rider would score well. I'm sure someday snowboarding will have lots of rules, national teams, committees, and sanctions. But right now it's just a good, fun scene. Lots of kids doing something they can be good at. Shame on those ski areas that don't let these kids ride their boards. They can go right, left, and stop a heck of a lot better than a lot of skiers I know. I'm sure with world-class resorts like Breckenridge allowing snowboarding, there will be a lot more places in the near future where you can ride your snowboard. In the meantime, congratulations to Breckenridge, Colorado, Swatch, and all the competitors for being part of the first ever World Snowboarding Championships.
Usually when I wake up in the morning, I'll take about a half a box of ice cream, pour Joe Cola in there and a thing of Pop Rocks. It gets me going through the day. A lot of people eat Snickers when they start getting slow, but usually we drink a Jolt.
The 1987 Swatch World Snowboarding Championships at Breckenridge hosts 250 riders from 7 countries with a combined purse of $30,000. The halfpipe competition is won by a skateboarder who only learned to snowboard 2 months before.
I did have a background as a skater from 11 to 15, and that definitely helped me win the first few years, but there's a lot of skaters now coming on. It's getting tough, but I'll kick the butt.
Snowboarding gets big at the 1998 Swatch World Snowboarding Championships at Breckenridge. Sponsorships and prize money reach an incredible 6 figures. The age of innocence is over when top competitor Craig Kelly ends up in court with a contract dispute between board manufacturers Sims and Burton. The 1989 World Cup of Snowboarding is canceled at Stratton Mountain, Vermont because of a lack of snow. Breckenridge gets the event and its halfpipe is then voted the best on the planet. TDK is now the major sponsor of the World Cup Tour. In other news, Breckenridge Ski Corporation announces the Snowboarding Hall of Fame with artifacts from the sport's not-so-distant past.
It is good half-pipe karma to work on a pipe, you know, to make your wall that you know you're going to hit and stuff.
I don't know what I'm doing, to tell you the truth. I didn't take half-pipe 101. It has to be dug back like a foot so there's transition so you can get up the wall.
We are the hierarchy by coaching them to make the correct vertical and transition in the half-pipe. Yep. We know what's up, so we're supervising.
Can't really get into this, you know. We got the tunes and stuff. We don't have any bikinis sitting around here. Oh, there's one somewhere down here.
Work harder! There.
We wanted to get
You're on the wrong wall.
All seemed well at the 1990 TDK World Snowboarding Championships at Breckenridge. Except for that world thing. The Europeans were not happy with subjective events like the halfpipe. They preferred objective, timed competitions. One European showed his disapproval by racing in the halfpipe. The fact stood that Europeans were better at Alpine events and the Americans were better at halfpipe. This was also the last year for the mogul competition at Breckenridge. The 1991 TDK Snowboard World Cup at Breckenridge hosted 150 competitors from 15 countries. They competed for over $40,000 in cash and prizes. The European dominance of the Alpine events began to crumble in 1991. USA's Gene Higgins placed third in Super G, and the American men won the podium. In slalom, American Mike Jacoby is almost blown out of the course during the semis, but recovers quickly to win this and the next runs. He then goes on to the finals. In the starting gate, Mike Jacoby is on the left and Philippe Imhoff is on the right. The battle for victory begins.
Imhoff with a slight lead at the top section, but he's edging out, getting a little bit behind. Jacoby pulling through. Jacoby edging a little bit.
Early on, Jacoby slips out on a turn with his only hope that Imhoff makes a mistake himself.
Imhoff working smooth through the bottom of the course, looking back. Jacoby
Imhoff does not. Jacoby goes on to beat Imhoff 1 week later in Japan to take first place in the slalom. There are no major sponsors for a World Cup in 1992, so it doesn't happen. Purses drop from $2 grand for first place to $300. Not even enough for a competitor's airfare. Breckenridge carries on and opens its first snowboard park. Snowboard competition in Breckenridge is back with the 1993 Butterfinger Paul Mitchell Snowboard World Cup.
It's the last race and it's really mellow to me because it's the end of the year, you know, so I'm not really tense or nothing, so I'm just going, you know. Just go with it. Go as high as I could and try and land.
Going smooth and trying to go big.
I like being a performer more than a competitor, and if you can do both at the same time, then you usually do pretty well in the events.
The International Ski Federation, or FIS, adopts snowboarding in 1993 but then excludes it from the 1994 Olympics as a demonstration sport. It premieres a new series with the 1995 World Grundig FIS Snowboard World Tour presented by O'Neill. USA's top competitors in Breckenridge for GS and slalom were Steve Persons and Sandra Van Aert. Breckenridge's half-pipe stars were Sabrina Sadeghi and Lyle Gregory.
Front side wall, yeah, 15 feet above the wall. Lyle Gregory, right into the ABC Wide World of Sports camera with a nose bump to the lens. Yeah.
Large snowboarding competitions disappeared from Breckenridge for 2 years before this pro half-pipe event in 1998. Notice the lack of sponsors' banners. The big news in Breckenridge involved inverted aerials in the half-pipe. Snowboarding gained the ultimate acceptance in 1998 by becoming an official Olympic sport. 1998-99 was the first season for the Vans Triple Crown Series in Breckenridge. The events have evolved into Superpipe, Slopestyle, and the Mountain Dew Rail Jam.
What I like most about Breckenridge is the continuity between having a good time on the mountain and having a good time in the town. Neither lacks in itself. You got a great mountain, great free riding, great park, and then the town itself has a number of opportunities to do at night.
This is actually the 20th year of snowboarding here in Breck, so it's cool just because, you know, I've been riding maybe 8 or 9 years, so just from where it's come from and where it is now and just to see where it's going, it's cool because Breck has a lot of history in the sport, and I think a really big future too. So
the Vans, Triple Crown, and various other contests just keep coming back to Breck is because of the reception that they get from the athletes as well as the public from Denver and from here. You know, everyone gets catered to pretty well, and everyone's really happy, I think.
Breckenridge team rider Steve Fisher wins the men's super pipe.
Huge lean air. You're right, Pat, almost entirely down that pipe, and then straight away into a 540 and a frontside 9, pulling it off.
Helps so much when you consistently ride a pipe, and Steven Fisher showing.
He goes on to win a gold medal at the X Games. Happy 20th anniversary of snowboarding, Breckenridge.